Yeah, very proud of the guys. The hard work they put in each and every day. Just keep hammering the fundamentals for us. So just the base things of tackling, right? How to take proper angles, communication. Those are all just things that we keep working on in order to be a great defense and continue to elevate the standard.
Who was a group that you were surprised about that you thought maybe needed more help than they ended up needing?
That needed more help.
That ended up not needing it.
Oh, not need.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I think overall, just in general, the culture of the guys and the players and the tradition. I think all of them push each other, and that's where you want to be as a coach. And I know it starts with our head football coach, Coach Ensign, but just the guys, group-wise, D-line. I think the D-line has done an outstanding job this offseason with Coach Geely, Coach O, and really developed their championship habits in the weight room in the offseason. And I think those guys. Because there's some transfers that left, there's guys that graduated. Those guys have done a nice job stepping up.
Who stepped up in a leadership role on the D-line?
Yeah, Jason Jacks is one of them. Martin, both of those guys have done a great job leading, just setting the standard in the things that you don't see on the football field. Not only are they great players, but they're great people and outstanding leaders that, they're the heartbeat. And everything starts at the line of scrimmage. You got to be great at the line of scrimmage to win.
We saw a little bit of Jason's potential last season, but
Yeah.
how has he improved and what can we expect from him on the field?
Yeah, I think he's done a great job with his hands, being able to get off blocks and separate. That's always going to be a big key at the defensive line position. I think he's really developed that skill set. His body has taken the next step in terms of physicality, putting on a little more weight. Coach Ward's done a great job in there in the strength and conditioning room.
And then what about Finn Claypool? What's he bring?
Yeah, just a dynamic player, right? When you turn on the film of Finn and, whether it was before he was here at Drake or obviously what he's done here on the practice field, just the motor, right? And the ability to rush the passer. I think he's got a great skill set that can make the quarterback clock speed up. And anytime you can do that as a defensive end and the whole group as a defensive line, it helps everybody.
What did you see or what are some things that stood out to you from the scrimmage on Saturday?
Yeah, I think the communication at backer for us. I think JP and KT do a great job leading, multiple formations, multiple shifts, multiple motions. They do a great job of getting their cleats in the ground and getting set. And I think that'll be a big key for us too as well, as we go play Kansas. I think those guys really stood out to me in the scrimmage.
Question for me, where does the nickel group fit into this defense?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the nickels, they're kind of the hybrids. They can do everything. We ask them to do everything. Play man on a slot, get in the run fit, right? Play to the zone, play the field, play to the boundary. So they're kind of the jack of all trades as you face multiple styles of offenses as you go throughout the season. So they got to be able to do everything in there. So that's where they fit in being a 4-2-5 defense. We ask them to do a lot of things. Simeon Harris has that ability, Andre Cobb, Cam Cole. Those guys are doing a great job handling the multiple aspects and techniques that we ask them to do.
How's it going there?
Good.
Since it's a recording for our profile, what's your name and occupation with the team?
Yeah, Nick Benedetto, defensive coordinator.
Oh, for sure. And here at the Clovis Roundup, we're featuring Cameron Braca. So with him, how's his recovery been?
Yeah, he has done a great and outstanding job of just working extra, finding little things to get better at and push himself. He's going to be fully recovered, and he's been back out here practicing the last couple of days.
Awesome. And I remember Ant's kind of stressing that him and his staff are going to put a big emphasis on recruiting here locally and trying to, raise the, the standards of the local product here. So
Yeah.
with him being a product here, what's it like knowing that you're going to get a hand of, working with Central Valley talent such as Cameron Braca?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to recruit the Valley and keep as many kids home as possible. And, my kids are in the Clovis School District too, so we're going to keep them home. But, I just, anyone that is here that understands the Bulldog tradition, understands what it means here to be a Bulldog, and we want to keep those guys close.
Oh, sure. He's a fifth-year senior. He's in the midst of recovery. He's one of the few players that went from last year's regime to here. What does he have to prove for this 2025 campaign?
I mean, he doesn't have to prove anything. What he has to do is just go out and be himself every day, and the great things will happen, for him. Cameron does. He's the heartbeat of the defense. What he does each and every day, very few people do. And, I'm just proud of him. I'm proud of what he brings to the table in our position room, in the defense, and the entire team. And so for him, it's to go out and do what he's been training to do, and everything else will take care of itself.
Sure. How much does his leadership mean to the safety squad?
Oh, everything. I mean, he's like I said, he's the heartbeat of it. What he displays every day. I mean, we look to him for everything. Players. You always have to have a guy on the defense that when things don't go right, when it breaks down, right? Who do they look to? And Brock is, Cameron's one of the guys that the guys are going to look to and step up to what he does, and he does a great job, and he's going to have a great senior season.
For sure. And the defensive backs, including the safeties, you guys are the most veteranized group with the help of Rocco. What's it like knowing that you're coming into this, knowing that you already have a great veteran group to work with?
Yeah, I mean, they're a joy to coach every day, right? There's a great competition there. They push each other every day to make them better, make everybody better. And I think that's the best part of, as a coach, when you come into a place and you got a group of guys that love the game of football, it's always going to, be a joy to coach them. And we're just trying to find a way to get, a little bit better, one step better, maybe in coverage, one step better in our run fits. And, when you have guys that love the game of football, those things are easier to preach.
My last question would be, without giving away too much, how do you plan on fitting him into your scheme? And then what are you most excited to see him do in this upcoming season?
Cameron specifically?
Cameron
Yeah.
specifically,
Yeah. So, I think he's going to be able to do a multitude of things. I think he can cover when we want to move him down to a backer position. He's able to blitz. He's able to do everything. So, we ask the safeties to do everything. They're very similar to a nickel, where they have to be able to blitz. They got to be able to play man-to-man. They got to be able to play zone. So, I mean, he's going to be in multiple spots and places throughout the season, and because he can handle it. He's got great football IQ, great leadership qualities, and obviously a tremendous athlete.